Hello guys, and welcome back to Strategic Command World War II, World at War with our Allied playthrough. In the last episode, we took care of the UK's massive front, and I think also maybe the Soviets. Really, I don't remember what order we did things in. It's been a few days since I recorded, but we are in the middle of a turn of January 30th. We have China to go through, we have the rest of America stuff to go through. We already took care of the fight in the Pacific at some point. And, yeah, it's going interestingly. We did lose 2/3 of our carrier fleet, but we have killed more than enough to compensate ourselves for that, and we're very close to killing the Akagi carrier as well. Very, very excited for that. This just in, I also finally learned how to recon with naval units. I always thought this question mark was like an attack. This is not an attack. This is a recon. So, yeah. This up here can recon all the way down here. I've never done it, so I might as well see it on this, because I'm not going to upgrade it. Yep. So it'll fly down there, and then voila, it can see all that. And that used 9 out of 10 of its action points. What if I, like, do this? So it can recon twice, like in 2 directions, or it can, I guess, recon once and then attack. So any plane can do that. I can see if you have better long-range aircraft, it could actually reach down here. That would be great. That would be really useful, yeah. Just want to make a slight adjustment in Ethiopia. I'm going to move the BAI army down south a touch, just so it can maybe get onto this mountain and help attack the HQ, who, if I was this HQ, I'd be surrendering. Just like if I was the HQ in the Philippines, I'd be surrendering. Let's go look at Central America, where we have more American ships eagerly waiting to pass on through the barrier here. Ooh, some of them are going to need a little bit of help. Brooklyn Light Cruiser, go ahead. And Battleship, Destroyer, Battleship. Hey, it's exactly enough to pass over into the Pacific. The whole Atlantic Fleet. Yes, this is my strategy. Is it an optimal strategy? Well, I mean, it's working against an AI. I don't know if I'd be doing this against a player, but right now it's working and I'm learning a lot. Oh boy, am I learning a lot. We already used all of our planes and stuff. In the battle for the Pacific, we have 512 MPPs to spend as America. Well, the first thing I'm going to do probably here is I'm going to get production technology researching, because it looks like we finished that. And this is a great thing, especially if we're going to be pumping out new carriers and all that jazz. We want this to be as high as we can get it. 387 MPPs. Now, I could put this into advanced fighters right now or start making something. However, I have something more immediately important. We have 5 chits to spend as America, and I know where I want to put them. Not into getting Argentina into the war. I still don't understand how the event for that's going to go. Like, is the election done, and that's why Argentina's 76% towards the Allies? I don't know. But there is someone I want to get leaning towards the Allies that I don't even know if they get an event. So, I'm going to go down here to Venezuela, and we are going to put in pretty much all the chits America can put in. Because the reason, I'll show you, is because if Venezuela leans 20% towards America, then Venezuela will start shipping oil to America, which is more money for America. And then if we also just eventually get Venezuela into the war, I mean, that could be good as well. It's not going to be my priority, but I do want to get this shipment starting, because more MPP's income for the USA means I can send more to the UK, and whereas I now have the UK responsible for, let's be real, half, if not more, probably most of the front. I think, let's say half. I don't know if that's accurate, but the UK plus all its colonies and all the miners that have joined it, UK is responsible for half the war here. And even if they got some leeway, they could still send stuff to the Soviets, and even that would help like crazy. So I am going to try to get Venezuelan oil pumping to the USA. I don't know if there's an event for it and if this is a complete waste of money, but I'm going to put all 5 chits in. That'll give me a 25% chance of turn to get them moving, so I think that'll be worth it. So 1 on Venezuela, 2 on Venezuela, 3... oh, it's going up 7%. Why is America get 7%? Oh, whatever. America OP. I mean, they really are. Holy shit. 4, 5. So 35% chance. Okay, hopefully that means we get them in nice and quickly then. I have 137 remaining as America, and I'm probably just going to save it. There's nothing else that they have to really upgrade. There's nothing I can purchase really with this amount of money, and there's nothing I can research. I've taken care of what I consider to be my priority. Now, for India. India has 271. India's research is also still full, so we can't do anything there. The diplomacy chits are allocated, still inefficiently. My bad. I don't feel like unassigning them. However, we can go and start purchasing new things for India. Now, India is very soon going to get another special forces unit and special forces. I'm realizing if I didn't buy the special forces that I'm getting, that would be my only special forces. The limits here are weird, man. I feel like the things that are already in production should count. Actually, no, they do count. They do count. It only doesn't count when it's an event spawn. Okay, never mind. You can get 2 special forces, turns out. I can finally get some new units, and I'm thinking I'm going to do exactly what I said I was going to do a long time ago, and go ahead and get some paratroopers. And the idea is the HQ, this special forces, the other special forces, the army, the artillery, and then this paratrooper will all kind of go together, and they're all probably going to go to Greece to assist the British, with a large force of Indians there, because right now all the Indians are in Ethiopia, which we're about to finish off. If all the Indians arrive in Greece, then we don't even need to rely on just the UK for Greece. We could hopefully make like a front line of Indians, and hopefully with paratroopers, we can have Indians doing maybe some special junk, you know? I go for armies and other things as well. Fighters would be really handy, but I'm still going to go for just these special force type units. So paratroopers it is. Long range aircraft upgrade, 100%. Infantry, weapons, we'll probably get AA, and we'll have to toss that on them later, but I'm going to go ahead and purchase this. This is 220 MPPs with current discounts, so let's go ahead and purchase the paratroopers here. We do have also this core that spawned, so that's also going to be heading west. We're going to give that infantry weapon upgrades, and it will not be able to move for now, which is fine, because I don't have enough money for a transport, even if it could move, but that's going to get moving over as well. That's not even going to stop in Ethiopia, because, yeah, everything's just going to move north. I don't know what I'm going to do with all the troops here. I don't know if I'm going to send them all to Greece. It's going to be hard to get them through the Mediterranean any other way. I could sail them south and then up, but that would take a while. And where would they be going? Like, I guess to Brest. But Brest is such a small, tiny, insignificant front that I don't care. The UK directly plus Canada can handle this. I'm not too intent on pushing through out of this small pocket to get to Paris when it's owned by Italy anyway. Greece, though, I want to make sure Greece stays open because it's so close to the Soviet front and it's distracting German panzers. And if we can push and somehow widen the front by sending a fuck ton of other units here, then we can have maybe the USSR pushing west, UK pushing up this way, and then we could just collapse in on them like that, eventually, hopefully, also utilizing Brest. That's why I'm going to try to put more and more MPPs into the UK. I know we'll have a Canadian tank we can send over there when we get the points to allocate, but now all we have to look at is China. So, as usual, we're going to start with, well, actually, Arty on the Haikou core, and then we'll attack with the first army. Got 1 damage, pretty lame. We're going to move you away, move you up, attack. Another 1 damage, pretty lame, but didn't take any, which is good. They're just going to reinforce this endlessly, but at least it's points that's not going into something else, I guess. We have endless manpower, so I don't need to worry about that. We're going to take the first core here, and... I'm unsure. I'm unsure what we're going to do with the first core here. So I know I want to take the 6th army and move it back. It needs to get somewhere that has better supply, so the HQ's catching up and all that jazz. Because the enemies are bombing us. We don't have anti-air on anyone down here because the push is just like... It went fast. So only this core here has any anti-air or anything. Alright, what I'll do is I'll take this army. I will step on Kamran Bay. We don't have any anti-air, but we also don't have any elite units. So I think that's rather important. We don't want to start losing elite units or anything like that. With the HQ sitting on Hugh, hopefully that will help. What's the... No, this isn't even Hugh. Hugh's right here. Supplies 5 from here. Ugh. I'm going to move this core back a touch instead of forward to try to get it some anti-air, if possible, next turn. So the push through Indochina will be a little slowed, but that's okay because the Japanese don't really have much of a presence in Indochina to actually worry about. Indochina now belonging to the Chinese. Oh my god. The communists will be so happy they don't have to invade it in, what was it, 1980? Again. That's wonderful. Okay, so yeah, that's wonderful. Stillwell's here. We're gonna have to get him somewhere. I don't know where yet. Also, we have our setup here. I have my one single amphibious transport that I can actually get right now with China's current amphibious warfare tech, which is still a ways out from actually upgrading. I think they share research with like America, so I think America will kind of make progress there and then be like, yo dog, here's some progress. Pretty sure that will happen. Oh man, their research is capped out. Holy crap. Okay, wish they could research faster. We're gonna take this and we're gonna hope to God that my assumptions were correct and that the very stretched thin Japanese AI, which is focused on taking Pacific islands, is not defending the island of Taiwan. Oh, there's nothing on Taipei. We land? Okay, we're here. We took Taipei. I don't know if there's anything in Tainan, but we have Taipei. Taipei will produce a little bit of supply. Not a lot, but a little bit. Enough. We cannot yet get another amphibious transport. I guess we have to wait until a turn where the game's like, oh, okay, you don't have any amphibious transports, so you're good. But we now own half, I guess, quote unquote. I could move forward a little bit more, but I'll just sit on this port for now. We're about to own half of, or the entirety, probably next turn, if there's nothing on Tainan, of this island. I wonder if we'll get as lucky on whatever this island is. What is this? Is this Okinawa? Is Okinawa this big? I don't know. I just know Okinawa is an island, and I know that it sucks. Is this Okinawa? I don't know. I don't know Okinawa. Puns. Sorry. Let's go ahead with the 42nd Army and attack the naval flotilla medium bombers. 5 damage dealt. That's fucking hot. And we'll swap. Well, no, we don't even need to swap. We'll just move into the hills here. And then attack. Ah, damn, but... Oh, it's a core. That's why. Oh, but it was enough. We wiped out the enemies on Busan. That's a whole plane group done. That's a lot of MPPs lost. I looked at the reports again. With the amount of things I'm killing this turn, like in the ocean over here, and now including this is actually just about as bad of a turn and a time as losing their whole land force over here was for Japan. It's like equally lossful, like bad, you know what I mean? Let's see, so we have an entrenched group up here, we have some planes just chilling here. Fucking idiots, man. Let's go ahead and attack them. It doesn't matter if you entrench with planes, you're still planes. I get this army moving north. We're gonna need garrisons. China doesn't have enough garrisons. And Indochina doesn't have any garrisons. So I guess what we're really gonna end up needing is just cores to function as garrisons on some of these important points to protect important things. For forward deployed places like these islands, I'll almost definitely only use cores for sure. Eventually, I'll just have probably Indochina protected by the Indo-Chinese. Have their cores stay there, maybe deploy their army. Don't even know if I'll need to do that, but it's a convenient way to do it. It is a convenient way to do it. Let's see about this front now. We do have the 41st Army chilling down here, who we can move up. We can also upgrade them to have anti-air. We need to stay pushing up here. We need to stay on the offense. So we're going to push forward for the time being and not worry about anti-air up here. Their carriers aren't up here. Their air power is not as strong up here. I've destroyed a lot of their air power up here. We're going to take the heavy artillery, which has 2 shells, and we're going to bombard this bitch twice to get rid of all of its entrenchments. Okay, so he's not entrenched anymore. Wonder what we'll be able to do with that. We'll start by attacking with the Dare to Die Special Forces. That sounds like a good plan to me. We only dealt 1 damage. Unfortunately, we took 1. We are fighting enemies with superior infantry weapons, is something to be noted. I'm going to take the 5th Army here, and I'm going to move it all the way down the road, right into the face of all the enemies here, just in case that ends up being something useful. We want to get as many attacks in as possible. Looks like the rest is going to have to be like cores. Cores and or also this tank. Because these enemies are going to be a tough nut to crack with all their upgrades. We'll go ahead and we'll move the Dare to Die Special Forces back over here. We're not pushing eastwards over here. Let's see. We have an army down south that'll definitely need to move up. We'll need to put a corps forward, I guess, in its place. We have 2 armies that can move forward. Okay, so the 54th Army is going to move forward. It's important to keep the armies moving because they'll be able to crack through all these enemy corps, whether or not they have upgraded infantry weapons or not, because these are max infantry weapons. We have upgrade 1, upgrade 2 is the max. And it's crazy, I think tanks go up to like 5. That just seems unfair. This corps is in the way, the 3rd corps, so we're going to move it up as well so we can move forward the 12th Army. That's pretty much of high importance. For the units that don't need to move forward, we're going to go ahead and give them some anti-air defense upgrades. If they're not moving anyway, they might as well just do this. The anti-air itself can't make it very far. It's in a decent spot. We'll give it some anti-air defense. That's pretty good for an anti-air defense platform. Let's see here. I'm probably just going to upgrade this engineer with anti-air defense as well, just because it's not going to do anything offensive. Probably these mechanized light tanks as well, for whatever it's worth. What they need are tank upgrades. We're not even researching that. We don't necessarily have the ability. A lot of my research is going over here, which is good in the long run, and there's still a long run left in this war. The end date is 70 or 47 if we actually fight to the end date. We're not even halfway through, technically speaking. But let's see what we can do here. We want to do some damage. Not here. This is irrelevant. Let's go ahead and attack the same corps again with the army this time. We got some experience lined up. Nice. Let's use the 3rd corps now. More experience. Nice. And we push them out. Nice. Okay. Good. Let's move this corps forward to take this tile, hex. The artillery, unfortunately, cannot move across the river, and it's already fired, so it can't even force march. We'll go ahead and we'll just reinforce the 2nd corps here. We're not going to worry about moving up or being too blitzkriegi with this one hex. Nothing else can really move very far, but my HQ coverage here is looking pretty nice. Pretty nice. This is one of my less good HQs. Rating 5, rating 6, rating 5. Stillwell's rating 5. Haha, some of the Chinese HQs are better than you, Stillwell. You fucking idiot. I'm assuming he's an idiot. We still have 260 MPP to spend as China. The only place to really put them is in purchasing new units. Looking at what I can afford and what I want, while medium bombers would be great to save up for, something that could be useful sooner rather than later is some further anti-air coverage, because that is a big way the Japanese have hurt us the entire time. It's a big way they still can hurt us with those carriers. Getting another AA producing, my 2nd of the only 2 that I can have, and putting that down south somewhere, or just somewhere where I expect the Japanese to fire upon, would be pretty good. So I'm going to recruit another anti-air here, and I'm going to give it the anti-air defense upgrades immediately. It'll take 3 turns to make. It's going to cost me only 100, so that's not so bad. So we're going to go ahead and purchase that. That leaves us enough still to purchase a corps, but we're not going to do that with 160. We're just going to save, because we wouldn't be able to afford all the upgrades anyway. We're just going to purchase that anti-air, and then we're going to save, and then that north is taken care of. We cannot do any transports right now. However, we can still get some more units into position. So let's see here. Bordering the port is good. So let's take this corps and move it down here. Now there's 2 corps here. The army at Hengyang is going to want to start moving down there as well. Can't move down there very quickly, but it doesn't necessarily need to. Still not 100% sure about this garrison. I'll just leave it at Changsha for now. Better than nothing, I guess. I wish I could have more garrisons. I really wish I could. But corps will have to function as garrisons eventually. Garrisons themselves aren't too important, and China's manpower means corps can function as garrisons. Especially if I just purchase more and more armies to kind of fill in the lines here. And then what do we have over here? So you cannot be upgraded any further. You are bordering the port. You can also go border the port. Just do it from right here instead. And so all you will be bordering the port. That's good. 3 of you. Only 2 of you can border the port. Better if it's the corps. This corps is not moving. And so I think almost everything has been taken care of as the Chinese here. The only thing... Well, no. Okay, I can move Stillwell still. And I did remember the Flying Tigers needed to be moved as well. I'm going to move the Flying Tigers into this region, finally getting some good air coverage over everything over here. Hopefully there's some decent supply here. It's right next to an HQ. Yeah, there's some decent supply there. It could be better. It'll improve. The supply in this region will be improving with our HQs in the region now and everything. 160. So where could we use Stillwell? So here's the thing. Where the hell would Stillwell even be useful? We don't need to operate him because, well, for one, we can't. He's not on a rail line. He's near a rail line, but we could probably just run him because we don't need anything. This HQ might honestly be better off moving south towards Fuchao to maybe it could reach out to these islands. I don't even know if that's possible. I also don't know if it can necessarily... Let's move this army down here. Okay, yeah, so it can move forward. Let's move the Zoo HQ forward. We'll have Stillwell start moving east, but we're just going to run him because he's not needed anytime soon. And I could just save those MPPs for something else. Speaking of saving, I'll go ahead and waste some MPPs by giving these garrisons here some anti-aircraft defenses. Let's see. I could also upgrade this settlement with anti-air, but I don't think that's going to be the most useful thing in the long run. I don't think the carriers are going to make too big of a deal. I'm glad I upgraded these ones with it. I believe that's everything for China, though. Yeah, everyone else is upgraded. Actually, I found one more American thing I could do. The Chicago Heavy Cruiser is kind of near the battlefield here. Sort of, not really. There's enemy ships over here to worry about. I don't want to leave the Chicago Heavy Cruiser over here. It has no point. It can't protect this place just by being here. It needs to unify with the American fleet. Setting up an interdiction course here is likely going to be impossible, but what I can do is hopefully naval cruise it to get in range. So we're going to naval cruise it up by these destroyers so we can reinforce hopefully next turn in this battle. It has level 2 naval weaponry, so it could be something to help make sure that this stays worth it, you know, assuming it doesn't die. Even if they turn around, you know, it should be fine. I'm still banking that this is going to work out. But with all that said and done, looks like that is actually definitively the rest of what we can / will do here. Yep. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and end turn. See what the dastardly Axis has in store for us. They celebrate the capture of the Dutch East Indies. Those bitches. Italian morale suffers the loss of Addis Ababa. Hell yeah. Allies liberate Abyssinia. Hell yeah. That means we could get Ethiopian troops now, right? Not that we need them or will use them. All these naval units sail west in the Pacific. Hell yeah. Engineers complete fortress. Hell yeah. Not that it's even going to be needed. Mongolia move towards the Allies 7%. That's good. If we get that, that'll help the USSR's money, as well as give them more locations where they can recruit from. More manpower. Australia, UK convoys being disrupted, unfortunately. British command training depot set up at... Yeah, that's an event we did. The Normandy ocean liner mysteriously sinks in New York Harbor. I think that's just a historical event. Doesn't do anything. Tech. Oh my god, so much tech. Tech. Ah. Okay. Alright. Cool. 600 MPPs at the end of the turn. Holy shit for America. 119 sent to the UK. UK ending with 395. That's good. Even while funding all this shit. Yeah, I needed to save from the USSR. The USSR got what they needed. So I think they're good. Especially getting now this much from America. 638 right now. This 115 being sent to the UK is going to double soon as well. Once winter is done. So that's nice. China just, you know, sitting on it as well. Ah, if only they could have a navy, man. I understand they historically didn't, but I kind of wish that I had the ability to make like a navy. Japan invades Portuguese Timor. What? Oh, seizes Timor without prior Portuguese approval. I guess that's an event. Portugal's probably not going to like that, and they'll probably move closer to the Allies as a result. I'll have to check on their leaning. They were at like 0%. They were completely neutral. Submarine dives from attack. So they are fighting us. These carriers are moving north and bombing the light cruiser that's stuck in the port up here, so at least it's not bombing the Chinese. Oh, it took some damage? That's funny. Why do that when you could just finish it off with... They're using both their fleet carriers for this? That's so stupid. You could have just finished it off with land units. Actually, no, they used a fleet carrier and an escort carrier. This is the other fleet carrier. Holy fuck. Alright. Battleship is choosing to engage one of our heavy cruisers and dealing massive damage, taking some damage. That's okay. We can lose that heavy cruiser and still win. The carrier ran into our destroyer. Yes! It's stuck there. It doesn't matter if we lose that heavy cruiser, dude. If we get that fucking carrier dead, we have more than won. Putting the enemy German subs over here in the Atlantic off the coast of Portugal. Dude, if I was Portugal, I would be concerned by this. Okay, reinforcements by the Axis. Ah, yes. Wait, you're operating? What do you need to operate for? Are you reinforcing the north? It sure looked like you were. Okay. Yeah, if I were you, I'd reinforce the north, because I'm about to go on an offensive here. Like, I'm ready. Your offensive has sucked. This is why I'm trying to put more and more attention to things that are going to be fighting Japan and not Germany. UK is fighting Germany as well, but they're also vital for the naval battle in the Pacific in the long run, because they're going to have a lot of ships over there. Eventually, a carrier, without me actually moving anything, so that's good. Yeah, they're moving stuff up north, probably entirely with operating. Well, maybe there's some extra stuff. Hell yeah, interceptors defending the front line. Russians, let's go. I poured so much money into you. Not as much as historically, but I'm counting on you. Keep the front line safe. Ah, damn, you're out of escorts. They have so much air power over here. I think we're going to be getting more and more fighters up, though, so that's good. British interceptors in Greece defending. The Brits need more supply to actually reinforce fully. We're going to be getting these Greek fighters in soon. That'll be nice. I spent my money on those. I think that's a good investment. Alright, more Russian interceptors flying. Yeah, I see interceptors in the back there that I just need to reinforce. And then we'll have more to counter the German air coverage. Oh, Germans and Italians. I think you guys are basically, like, they're very strong, don't get me wrong. But I don't think they can do anything. I think they're at their limit. I think they're pushing as far as they can. And whereas they're still going to get kills and make some progress, I think the whole world's about to collapse in on them. There's 3 fronts they're maintaining in Europe, for fuck's sake. We finally lost this town. That took them really, really long. That's good. I'm not seeing the Russian winter events, which makes me think that they didn't even push forward fast enough to actually get the Russian winter events. However, the winter is still slowing them down. Look at all the snow. Yeah, they're just finally starting to finish up Ukraine here and actually reach our proper defensive line. But look just behind the defensive line. All those mechanized things we saved, they're going to be ready to go. The HQ here in the Philippines finally under attack. I can't get it out. Disbanding it only gets me 14 MPPs, so I'm just like, just let it fight. Distract the Japs. Yep, they are pushing forward in Ukraine. This is still where their heaviest offensive is. I'm going to crash down on them from the north, hopefully, and reinforce the south with all this stuff you see in the rear here. Odessa still under attack, but not falling. The tanks are actually moving in here and trying to attack and triggering the defensive artillery. I suspected they might be that ballsy, and I was hoping they would, because that's not going to work out for them. Their attack on the north of the Metaxas line still working out well for them. I'm going to have to swap that core back up, because that HQ is running out of morale and readiness really quickly under this constant barrage. They're being very offensive, but I don't think they can keep it up. Oh god. Oh dear, they're already at Port Moresby. I was getting ready to send a unit to Port Moresby, a special forces, but I don't even know if it's going to be enough. We have no time to entrench, but they're sending a special forces too. Theoretically, we could do something, but I don't think my special forces is even upgraded. I hate how they don't give you anything to start on Port Moresby, because Port Moresby was a really important place, like a really important battle. I don't know if the troops were already there or if they were sent there or what, but I couldn't even send anything there prior. Oh yeah, here comes more of the British fleet, a sub and the carrier. Hell yeah, dude. Now we just need to get the MPPs to reinforce that. French partisans disrupt supply around Nancy. Good. Good. Axis raiders disrupt shipping near Melbourne. Yeah, I know. Japanese submarine shells the Shells the Californian coast. They have a sub off the Californian coast? You fuckers. They did that in real life, so that doesn't really surprise me. Alright, all this. We got all these ships arriving in, okay, very random locations. Intelligence, enemies in the Netherlands, sub spotted. Oh, is that the battleship that was fighting us? Oh, they actually moved the stuff, so we're gonna have to discover. We got a second corps to deploy in Sydney, Australia, full strength, Idaho battleship LA. So the battleship we were fighting is here. The carrier that was here does seem to have run away. We're gonna have to discover that again. But if we find that carrier, it's dead. It's dead fucking meat if we find that carrier. And this battleship? Oh, dude. Dude, I could probably sink this battleship with the carrier if it's in port. If it's in port, it's trying to seek safety, but planes in a port, as you see, that's very effective. Oh, we're gonna really get our money's worth here. And we didn't lose any ships this turn. That's huge. That means we can actually get the New Orleans out of here, theoretically, if we be very careful about it. So Portugal did not start leaning towards the Allies, but with actually none of my investments in Venezuela ticking at all, they're 29% leaning towards us out of nowhere. Meaning, I just spent like 250 MPPs just to get this convoy going, which is going now, by the way. I'll show you. It is going. 10 MPPs. Wonderful. I just spent 250 MPPs to get this going, and what do you know? They're just already leaning towards us. This is what I mean. Like, if you don't know what things happen and when things happen in this game, you can end up wasting quite a lot. Well, it was a good plan in my brain. At the very least, maybe we can get Venezuela to join the war. I mean, who else do we put our points into that really matters, you know? I don't know. Whatever. I'm not taking them out because they're already spent and I can't get the money back. God damn it. Whatever. You learn things in this game, you know? You learn things. The hard way. That's why this is my learning campaign before I do PvPs, which, just so you guys know, Shibi from my SRU series has purchased the game and already wants to do a PvP. He wants to play as the Axis first. So we'll definitely have that going eventually, and Sir Travis also might buy this game. So we might have a lot of PvPs, maybe like 4 PvPs or more with this game. That would be exciting. But that is going to be it for this episode. On the next episode, we'll take on the next turn. A lot of shit to do, I'm sure. For now, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you over there on the next one. And I'll see you over there on the